Hey there everybody, Andy the Uncommentator here, welcoming you to this first episode of what I'm going to call a playthrough that's not a playthrough of Pokemon Snap. Now I say first episode, it's actually the second video in this sort of series, but in the first video I don't actually take any photos, I just explain how this series slash playthrough that's not a playthrough is going to work. So if you want to know a bit more context behind this series, then please go and check that video out. But if you don't, then stick with me here in episode, as I said, I'm going to call it episode 1 because it's the first video where I'm actually going to take some photos. And the Pokemon that we're going to be snapping here in this video is Bulbasaur. A bit of a clue there on the screen. Now, just before we actually get into the photo taking, I've got 4 words that will strike fear into any long-term viewer of my Pokemon videos, and those 4 words are Primer's official strategy guide. Because not only did Primer decide to make a strategy guide for Pokemon Pokemon Stadium, both 1 and 2, they also made a strategy guide for Pokemon Snap. However, subverting the theme that I'm sort of trying to convey here, it's actually not a bad little guide. So we're going to be referring to this throughout the series. So kicking things off with Bulbasaur. So I'll read the entry for Bulbasaur. So it says here, 3 Bulbasaur live in the hollow trees on the left bank of the river. The first and third Bulbasaur require a Pestiball to catch their interest. The second Bulbasaur requires Pokemon food. Toss a piece of Pokemon food at them to catch their interest. If you catch them with a Pestiball or eating Pokemon food, Professor Oak will reward you nicely. Now that's actually not a bad little synopsis and fairly accurate, because that is how we are going to get that photo, or a similar photo to that, of Bulbasaur. So anyway, let's stop rambling and start. I'm trying to think of a word. I'm trying to think of a photography term beginning with R that sounds a bit like rambling. Well, or just one beginning with R. And I can't think of one. Anyway, let's get on with it. So, Bulbasaur, it lives by the river. So that's the level we're going to go to, and I'm also going to regret that when I listen to it back later. So as I said, Bulbasaur at the river, which the guide also alluded to there in that little ditty that it did. Oakley dokley. Now the good thing about this particular Pokemon is it's at the beginning of the level, so that actually is quite useful. So there isn't a long setup. So what we need to do here is we need to try and hit this Bulbasaur here with a Pestiball as quick as possible. And as you can see here, I ain't the best at this. Really should have done a there we go. Really should have done a practice run here, but I haven't. Now, if we can attract them together, the picture we want both Bulbasaurs in the shot. We want it eating the fruit. Something like that. Hopefully these are good. I guess we'll find out. Right, we'll go with that. Now, there are actually 3 Bulbasaurs. There's one here, as you can see. So we can hit that one as well. But getting all 3 together is quite challenging, as I'm now going to demonstrate. Because there you go, the other one just stuck behind the log, and the third one's just disappeared. Anyway, right. Now, one good thing about this is we don't have to skip to the end of the level to get our photos developed. So we're going to quit the course. One thing as well I should have said, throughout this series, I'm only going to take photos of the Pokemon that is sort of the subject of the video. So in this particular video, however long it's going to go on for, I'm only going to take photos of Bulbasaur. Right, so we know the we know the photo that we're trying to beat. So let's see if any of these can beat it. Now, unfortunately, we can only submit 1 photo, so we need to try and submit one where they're both in the shot and they're both kind of looking happy. Right, so let's have a look. Or just both sort of, one maybe eating, one sort of on its side. So it's going to be something like these here. One of these 3 potentially. So that one, or that one maybe. Let's go for that one, because it's similar to the one I've got. I don't think it'll be quite as good a score. Let's go for that one. And there's a way of... Oh, there we go, yeah. So that's the photo that we're comparing to. So we've got 5,200 points. I should have done a points breakdown, but I didn't. But it doesn't matter, because I'm going to see that in a second. So we're going to try and get... So we're trying to get as close to that score as we can, if not beat it. I don't think we will beat it in the video, but... I say in the introduction, the point of this series is to just show you how to get these photos, not you actually see me get them, which I know sounds a bit daft, but part of the reason why it's a playthrough, that's not a playthrough, amongst other reasons. Anywho, so the first photo of the series, let's see what it gets. So size, yeah, slightly smaller. We got the right pose, which is what we wanted. 1200 points. Technique, yeah, right in the middle of the frame. Yeah, that's fine. Got the Bulbasaur, so we should get a decent score for that. Yeah, 820. So you can see there, 4,900. So it's only 300 points behind the score I've already got. So we'll keep the old one. Now we'll have another go, but I think basically you get the idea. This is one of the easier ones. It's nice. It's nice to start off with an easier one. But we'll have another go, and if we don't get any better, we'll call it a day. I don't know if can I say this? No, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. Right, okay, so we'll skip on here. Right, so once again we need to hit this Bulbasaur with a Pester Ball. Hopefully we can do it a little bit quicker than I did last time. That should be it now. There we go. Right, we'll get this out the log. We're throwing apples at it. Now, as I said, we can try and get all three, but it is quite challenging to get all three. As we're seeing here. We'll keep sort of going. Where's the other one? Oh, it's there. There we go. That should be quite a good score, hopefully. Let's get one more shot. There we go, that'll do. Now, one thing I am going to try not to do throughout this series is comparing this game to the new Pokemon Snap, because there are some features, as you'd expect from a game on a much more advanced console, there are some features on that game that aren't on this game. I need to get my sort of mentality back to what you can and can't do on here. One of the main things that you can't do on here is throw apples or Pester Balls while you've got the camera activated, whereas you can do that on the new Snap. You can throw, I think it's fluff fruit and aluminum orbs on that one, but on here it's Pester Balls. It's not apples, it's apple-shaped Pokemon fruit. It's not actually apples. I think there's an obvious one here. It's going to be that one. I don't think, once again, I don't think either of these are going to be... You basically need to get both of these Bulbasaurs. Well, you can get all three if you can, but you need to get both these Bulbasaurs, both quite big. We'll go with that one. I don't think it's going to get anything like, but we'll give it a go. Okay, let's see what we get here. Ooh, same size, that's good. Yep, got a good pose because it's celebrating. You can either get it eating or celebrating it eating. Right in the middle of the frame. So we're level on points at the minute, but I think the same score is going to be slightly lower. Yeah, well, lower actually. Yep, so of course we keep the highest score, even though I don't really like that photo because it's sort of noses in the grass, but I suppose it's... Maybe it could be getting food out of it. Anyway, so that is Bulbasaur. Report's complete. Yes, it is. Calling him by my Sunday name, of course, Oak. So we'll just quickly nip back to the report. Okay. Bulbasaur, yeah, so there we go. So that's the Bulbasaur photo. So you can see, so I think basically this video... It's done its job. You can see what you have to do to get Bulbasaur. So basically, you hit the first one with the Pester Ball, throw apples to get the one out the log, get them together, and then take a shot of them both close up. As I said, if you're skilled enough, you can get all three, but it is quite difficult. I would recommend going for the just a close-up shot of the two of them. So yeah, so that's it. That's the first episode in this playthrough that's not a playthrough. How to get a good score of Bulbasaur in Pokemon Snap. So hopefully that will anyone that's struggling with that. Hopefully this guidance will help you. Now, because it's going to be a long-ass series, I'm not going to do a long outro on each video. You'll be pleased to know, again, that long-term viewers of my videos will know how long my outros are, so we're not going to do that. So all I'm going to say is join me next time on this Pokemon Snap playthrough that's not a playthrough. We're going to be moving on to episode number 2, and the next Pokemon that we're going to be taking a picture of is Charmander. So join me for that one, but until we get to that point, for now from me, it is sayonara.